Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Marissa. So in today's video, I'm going to talk about my first year experience at UBC, as well as share any insights and tips for any incoming students. So I am currently a first year UBC student going into my second year for kinesiology, and I have some friends who are coming to UBC this coming winter term, and they have been asking me a bunch of questions. So I kind of just wrote some notes down on my notes app on my phone, some of the things that they asked me and just any other things that I wanted to include for this video. So I'll probably be missing some points in my video, so if you have any more questions, please leave them down in the comments and I'll answer them right when I can. So first, I'm going to talk about the differences between high school and university. My personal transition from high school to university was fairly easy, but it'll definitely be different for everybody. There's definitely a lot of differences between high school and university. So first, class planning is a lot more flexible in university. So it also depends on your faculty and what you're studying, but basically you'll have a few required courses that you need to take for your major or your main place of study. And similar to high school, you'll have some electives that you need to take. Kind of just like high school electives, you can pick electives that are similar to what you're studying, or it could be totally different. Like for example, kin student, I can take an arts course. But in general, I feel like university classes are just more flexible and you feel like you're not in a prison anymore. I feel like in high school, you kind of feel closed in and stuff and controlled, but in university, you're just like more free to do what you want to do. Like for example, if you go to classes, you can leave whenever you want, you can go in whenever you want, you can be slightly late. I don't think the profs really care too much. And like most of the time, attendance is not required. So classes in uni, at least at UBC, range from 1 hour lectures to maybe like 3 hour lectures. And usually if you're like a science student like me, you'll have lab classes as well, and those are usually like 3 hours long, 2 hours long. I think one of the main differences between high school and university is the independent learning. So I feel like in high school, you have always your teacher right in front, and they kind of control what you have to do, and they tell you what to do, what to finish, what to get for the next class, whatnot. But I feel like in university, you kind of have to do all that planning yourself. Of course, the prof will like tell you what you have to do and stuff. There's going to be like a syllabus you have to read, and basically the syllabus will cover everything that you'll go through for that whole course. But usually the profs will only remind you about each thing once at the very start of the school year, and then you have to take your own initiative to go to the syllabus again and reread it and go through what you have to do. So it's a lot of independent work. So with that being said, you don't get that much interaction with your prof, especially in those like 300 to 200 student classes. You don't really have the time to go up to your prof unless you talk to them like 10 minutes before class or 10 minutes after class if they're available. But there are things called office hours, and basically you have to book an appointment with your prof to meet privately and talk to them if you need any help or just need someone to talk to. You can book those with your profs, and I definitely highly recommend booking those office hours. Unfortunately, I didn't have a lot of experience with that because I had figure skating on the side, so I didn't spend too much time at school, and like I skate in like Burnaby, which is maybe like an hour and a half away from school, so I didn't have time to stay at school to like talk to profs. But there are also Zoom office hours, which I did attend a few of them, and those definitely helped me to just understand what is expected for the class, as well as just helping me understand some concepts that I found confusing. So homework. So homework will usually not be done in class, it will just be done at home. Usually during like lectures, it's just the prof speaking and going through their slides, and then you're taking notes, and then you have to go home and study on your own, do the homework on your own. Only during like labs, you do like work in the lab time that you have. So usually homework is done online. There's graded homework as well as just ungraded homework. For homework, it's usually done on a site called Canvas. A lot of the submissions you do are on Canvas. Some exams are also on Canvas as well. So this also brings me to talking about textbooks. So unfortunately in university you have to buy your own textbooks. They're like super expensive stuff. So I definitely recommend going on like Facebook Marketplace, or if you know any like senior students in your area of study, you should go ask them if they still have their textbooks and you can buy from them, because usually if you buy from like Facebook Marketplace you can get it for like $50 to $70, but if you pay for your own, like a new copy of a textbook, it's like $150 or like $200. It's like really expensive. So definitely recommend looking for that as soon as you can. Usually you can find which textbooks you need on the syllabus beforehand, but in other cases you need to buy new textbooks, and those are the ebook versions, and that is because some homework is like connected to the ebooks. So there are things, I think it's called smart books, and basically you go on this like Connect site and there's like homework questions that your teachers will provide, and most of the time these homeworks are ungraded, but some teachers make it graded or like for completion marks, so you just have to complete it to get a mark for it. They're usually only like 10% for your final mark. But I do recommend, even if it is ungraded, do the questions if you have the time. It's definitely useful to go through those homework questions, because sometimes some of the test questions will actually be in one of those homework questions. So it's good to like expose yourself to what questions you might encounter in exams and stuff. One more thing I want to point out is that your prof is actually not the person who's grading your work. Usually that's the case. I had this one English class that the prof was the one who was grading, but in all my other classes that I took, you have people called TAs, and these are like upper level students that like grade your exams and your homework. So basically profs are there to like teach you the content, and they also make the exams. So hopefully you guys all have profs that actually do their work properly and put the stuff they're teaching into the exams, and don't just put random questions that didn't go through in the exams. But basically profs make the exams and they basically teach you about things, but they're not the ones marking your work. So a main tip for me is to definitely make a good relationship with your profs. Find time to just go up to them and talk to them. Even if you don't have like any questions regarding the homework and stuff, just go up to them, introduce yourself, and just like make a good relationship, and they can probably like help hint you about like what's on the exams and stuff. So I had a number of friends ask me about difficulty of courses and just asking me how many courses they should take and stuff. And I know by the time that this video is up, registrations are usually all like done and stuff. So this might not help too much, but it could help in later years. So in my experience, I took 6 courses during my first year winter session. And in the winter session, there's like 2 separate terms, but you have to register for both of them like at once. So then in my case, I had 3 courses in term 1 and 3 courses in term 2. As many of you guys might not know, or many might know, I was a competitive figure skater, and I did do full-time figure skating on the side with full-time school. So that's why I only took like 3 courses during one term, because I was pretty busy and stuff. I recommend for those who do have like extracurricular activities like me, or have like a job on the side, take around like 3 to 4 courses. That workload is acceptable. It's a little bit challenging if you're like super busy, but it's fairly easy to work with, and it depends on what courses you take. Like I feel like for me, I took kin courses, so I feel like kin courses are fairly easier than other types of courses. Maybe like business courses are a bit harder, but it just depends on the courses you take as well. But 3 to 4 courses would be a pretty like manageable workload for someone who's busier. But if you are definitely someone who wants to take a challenge and you have a lot of time to do homework, definitely do around 5 or 6. If 6 is the max I think you can take in one term. I have some friends that are like engineer students, and they have a lot of required courses, so they had to take 5 to 6 courses during one term. So it's definitely possible to do that, but that's like a really heavy workload. So I do recommend doing maybe 4 courses if you're just like a average student maybe. But yeah, So now I'm just gonna share some like general tips that I have down. These are not in any sort of order. I'm just gonna go by whatever order I put it here. So first thing is about note-taking. So note-taking can sound like super simple and all that, and like in high school it was not that big of a deal, like just note-taking, taking notes. But I feel like in university it becomes something very important. So what I want to say is like it will take time for you to figure out what your best note-taking strategy is for university. I definitely changed my note-taking strategy. Like it drastically changed from what I did in high school. During your like first year experience, you'll definitely take your time to like figure out what's best for you. In high school, I used to take notes on paper and then print out like slides and write on them. That's what I used to do. But that definitely did not work out well in university, and I kind of changed to like online note-taking. I know a lot of people like to like type their notes, but personally I'm not very good at typing, so I didn't take on that route, but that could work for you guys. Another note-taking skill that I've seen around campus is like people have laptops open with like the slides, and they also have iPads and they write on it. But that's like the more expensive route. Not everyone has a laptop and an iPad. Luckily, my laptop actually broke at the very start of the year, so I got a new laptop that could work as a laptop as well as a tablet. That might work for you guys as well. Personally, I'm someone who likes to write my notes, and so I found a way for me to write on my laptop and stuff. So it'll definitely take you guys some time to figure out what your best strategy is. But once you find it, it'll be easier for you guys to do well on your exams. Also, one quick note. So in high school, I know we used a lot of binders and stuff, but in university, binders do not exist anymore. Like, goodbye binders. Maybe people still use like folders if they use like paper notes and stuff, but you don't see any binders anymore. A lot of people keep their things online so that they don't lose it. So I do recommend trying to find a strategy that's like online note-taking, you know? So next thing I want to say is please attend all your classes. So I know, like I said before, not all classes require attendance. Most of them don't, especially the big lecture hall ones. I do recommend attending every single class. Of course, if you're like really ill or really sick, don't come to class. I'm pretty sure there's going to be like Zoom options for you to like tune into what's going on in class. But I do recommend just like being there in class. Even if you feel like under the weather or you're just kind of like tired and stuff, just go to class, sit at the back, but just listen to what the teacher's saying. Like honestly, don't take any notes if you're like really tired. Just pay attention to what the teachers are saying, and then ask your friends later for like notes and stuff. I feel like going to class is just important because even if you're not taking notes, you at least get something out of that class, and that might help you out on your exams. Next tip is to study early on. So this is one mistake that I made during my first term in the winter session. I kind of used my high school days of procrastinating and studied at the very end before exams. So that was not the best idea. Definitely study right when you get the first slides. Like the very first class, your teacher will give you your first slides. Start memorizing, start studying it right away, because that will definitely help you with workload, and also just not like stress you out before exams and stuff. But of course, don't become like a total study addict. Make sure you go out, have your time, go out with friends. Just you also need to remember to like enjoy your university life and not just like study. So next little note for you guys, so don't worry about your marks too much in first year. I think the most important thing about first year is just to experience what university is like, just like to adapt to this new environment and just have fun. Of course, you do need to care about your marks and stuff, but just don't overly obsess over what you get. So if you do like fail an exam, don't get too upset, because I failed exams as well, but I still ended up getting good marks out of it. So in high school, I was like a straight A student, very high marks, like 95% average, I guess. And going to university, my marks did drop, but I definitely learned that I shouldn't like stress too much over marks. You should expect your marks to drop. maybe around like 70s, 80s, honestly, or even lower. I feel like most first years, if you're not like an IB student or AP student, most first years just tend to try to pass courses. That might sound ridiculous for anyone that scores really high in high school, but like honestly, your main goal is to pass courses. I'm not saying that it's not possible to get like 90% in university, but just don't stress too much about like getting high marks, and just have fun and just try your best. Next tip I have is to join clubs and participate in activities. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to join any clubs last year because I was busy with skating, but I have a lot of friends that are in clubs, and they said that it's like really fun and just like a really good experience and a good way to make friends as well. And I think also like clubs are good to like put you away from like studying and stuff and doing something fun. And also like participating in campus activities just makes you like experience what university is like, and that way you can also meet a lot of new people, not even from your own like faculty. You can meet people from other faculties and just make a lot of new friends. And I just think those experiences are the best ones that just keep on with you when you move up in your years. Yeah, I definitely recommend going to those activities, going on those camps, little trips and stuff. I really wish I was able to go on them. I think I only went to like one Christmas party thing. Honestly, it was a little bit awkward, but then it was definitely a good experience for me to like just understand what university life is like. So, with that said, a big tip for you guys is to make a lot of friends. So I know like making friends can be a bit intimidating, especially for people like me who are like introverted and stuff, but I think it's really important to just put yourself out there, especially at the very beginning of school. Just put yourself out there and just meet a lot of new people, meet some friends, because ultimately those friends will help you go like get through university. It's honestly easier to do well in school if you have people who support you and you have like other people to help you out. So with university being very like independent work, it's better to have friends to help you support and just like work together and stuff, because you don't have your prof to help you all the time, you know. You need a lot of friends. Yeah, you need like friend support, you know. And in general, it's good to make friends and start opening up your network, because that will help in the future when you're trying to like apply for jobs or like just in general some other things. If you have like a good network, you can get yourself somewhere, you know. I don't know if this makes sense, but yeah. Now don't worry if you are someone who didn't make a lot of friends at the very start of school, the first week or first month. That's okay. You can still get a lot of support. Just make sure you search for those Discord groups or Instagram groups, Facebook groups of your faculty, and usually there you can ask even strangers for help and stuff. So yeah, just make sure you get yourself involved in your like community. So a tip for people who don't live on campus. There's a program for first years called collegia. And collegia is basically a space that like kind of resembles kind of like your home. There's like couches, there's a kitchen, washrooms, a shower, and it's just a space where you can hang out, meet new people from different faculties, and eat food. There's like a little, like there's events from time to time, and you can go there and shower after you go to the gym or something. Basically, it's a space for commuter students to go and like stay there in between classes, or if they have nowhere to stay. I really recommend you guys signing up for collegia. It's free, by the way. I'm pretty sure just search like collegia on Google and then you can find where you can sign up for it. And yeah, I really recommend going to collegia. I went there a bunch during my first year. It was a good spot for me to meet up with my friends, as well as just have some like nice space to like study. And also there's lockers there. You can also apply for a locker and you can leave some stuff there. But yeah, I just feel like collegia is a good space and you guys should definitely consider if you are a commuter student. Last little tip for you guys is definitely plan ahead and just keep your schedule planned properly. So I definitely found it very useful to have like a calendar or like a agenda and like write down what you need to finish and whatnot and deadlines and stuff. I think that's like super important, especially with this like independent working environment. It's really good to have your things written down in front of you so that you don't forget to like hand in something, because usually your prof won't remind you when things are handed in. You have to like remember that yourself. So definitely write those things down and just keep a good planner and calendar, and that way you'll stay organized and you won't stress over not getting your homework done on time. So yeah, these are all the notes and tips that I have on my notes app here. I definitely did miss a lot of things, I think. But definitely if you guys have any questions, please leave them below in the comments and I'll go answer every single one. And if any of you guys watching are UBC students, if you guys have any more tips that I did not mention, please leave them down in the comments as well to help my viewers. So main takeaway from this video, I just want to remind all of you guys that not everyone will have the same university experience. Some people will adapt quickly, or some people will take more time to just figure out who they are and what they need to get to. Some might struggle more, but basically just know that like, especially first year, it's just a time to adapt to this new environment and this new way of learning, and just have a lot of fun. Like, it's first year university, just have a lot of fun. Don't worry too much about your grades and just make a lot of new friends, and yeah, it'll just be a really fun time. So yeah, I hope you guys found this video helpful and I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a like and remember to subscribe to my channel and turn on post notifications to be notified when I post my next video. So I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!